Hey y'all, I am here on Holland America's Eurodam cruise ship, and I am taking a 21-day cruise through the Panama Canal. It's a very interesting cruise, and this is now the end of the cruise, so I'm able to sort of give you a little review of what my experience was like on this cruise. And I gotta tell you, I have absolutely loved it. I even bought this little animal, this stuffed animal cruise ship. It says Holland America line on it. And I think I will always treasure this because it will remind me of what a great cruise this was and what a great cruise line this is. Even though it's been 21 days, it feels like almost yesterday when I first boarded the Eurodam. You know, I saw the cruise ship from afar, and I knew that this was going to be a wonderful place to call home for the next 21 days.
All right, here's my room, 8092. They put your keys here for you when you're checking in, so let's check it out. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Okay. I am supposed to be in an interior room. What? I guess they didn't even tell me that they were going to upgrade me to not only a window, but a balcony. They did not tell me that. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is very unexpected. They did send me like an email 2 weeks ago saying if I wanted to upgrade to a balcony room, it would be $500 per guest. And these rooms are 2 guest occupancy. So that would have been $1,000. And then last week they sent me an email saying I could pay $300 per guest for an upgrade to a balcony. And now they just gave it to me. How crazy is that? I guess there aren't that many people on this 21-day cruise through the Panama Canal, but I am one. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. Mariners. Yeah, that's right. This is my second time on Holland America, so it looks like I get a free cocktail, although I don't drink, but hopefully I'll get a free mocktail. So that's always fun. Oh, look at this room. Okay, my luggage still hasn't arrived. It's still, I guess they're gonna bring it, the porter or something. I like this bed. Look at that. All those pillows. And this, it's oh, look at that. It's like you're in the old Dutch days of ships and stuff. Very Holland America-ish. Some lights here. I like this little notepad. And you've got a couch here for entertaining, that sort of thing. That's nice. Here, oh, this horrible Effie things. You know, I can give this as a gift to someone shopping at sea. You know, just for Christmas gifts. I'll mostly be having room service because I'm on my weight loss fat camp. So look at these, all kinds of great meals I can order for my breakfast. And the great thing about Holland America is it is complimentary room service 24/7. I think only Disney does that too. This is my desk where I'll be, you know, working on my YouTube videos or whatnot. Looks like I've got a mini fridge here. Oh, with all kinds of little things. Don't worry, I'm not going to drink them. I'm not paying for that. Like this. Okay. And this, I like this little area here. I guess there's little lights for my little... Oh, this is so nice. More storage space up here. This is so nice. I can sit here and look out, and I have a balcony. How crazy is that? And I'm on the 8th floor too, so this is a nice view. Look at that. Now this balcony is not completely private. I've got this little area here. But I guess we could probably close this door. In fact, I want to, so I'm going to. There. That's much better. Like this side. So now it is a completely private balcony. Look at this. I can just sit here and watch the Panama Canal from here on my balcony. This has to have been a mistake. I have a feeling they're gonna knock on my door and say, you're actually in a very tiny interior room, but so far they haven't. So I'm already here. I'm unpacked. They're gonna have to drag me out. Look at this. Look at all these ships today out here. Wow. Very nice. Okay. So what else do we have here? This is nice. We've got this little closet with Holland America beach towels in case I go on an excursion. Oh, and I really like these. Two of these, you know, terry cloth robes. I'll need that when I'm ordering room service. I'm gonna get dressed to get my room service. Pretty big closet here. That's great. I need all that. I have lots of stuff for 21 days. And more closet. Excellent. Very nice. Let's check out the bathroom. What? Oh my gosh. A bathtub. I was so worried it was going to be just a shower. I mean, I love, you know, the showers are nice, but this is big. This is great. Because I'm a bathtub guy. I like to soak and relax. Oh my gosh, this is great. It's not the nicest, most luxurious looking bathtub, but it is a bathtub on a cruise. I've never had one before, and I've always wanted one, so that's very nice. Oh, here, look, they actually give you lotion. You know what? Frickin' Virgin did not give you lotion, so I was lucky I had brought some with me, but I did not like that Virgin didn't have it, but at least this place does. So yeah, very nice. Very nice. Oh my gosh, I have a tub. With the optional shower, of course, but I do have a tub. That is great. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. I got real lucky. This is what you get when you play the buffalo slots. They reward you, all right. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Sorry, I just have this ridiculous smile on my face right now. You don't want to see it. Okay. All right. Look at this. I can't get over my balcony. Look at that balcony. What?
And so after checking into my room, I said goodbye to Fort Lauderdale and we began this amazing cruise. Now, let me tell you some observations I have of the overall cruise experience so you can see if this is something that may be for you. First and foremost, it's important to say the clientele on this cruise is an older crowd, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. I think it's pretty well known. This is not Carnival. This is not a party cruise. It's going to be a more mature group of travelers, and that's okay. However, they're probably even older than you might think, especially on one of these longer cruises where it would be hard to get a family together because it's not spring break or anything like that. It's a very long cruise, so you're imagining people who are retired or people who are like the duck who are sort of semi-retired, something like that. So it's a different kind of crowd. A lot of people would, I think, say, conversations I've had is that the median age is around 70. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's around 70. And these are some of the sweetest older people I've met, some of the most interesting, very wise, very generous. I mean, they're always giving me their drink tickets and things like that. Or, this one lady, this sweet lady, treated me to a very nice dinner at one of the very exclusive restaurants on board. They even give me money to gamble with in the casino. So these are just wonderful, amazing people. I'm very privileged to have met them. Um, However, there is a kind of vibe as well that goes along with the older crowd. They have parties here. I'm not really sure why they even have parties here on this cruise. It's not like when I was on Virgin voyages and there were these big parties and people, got really into them and stuff like that. It's not that kind of crowd. They had a big so-called orange party the other day, and I went in like 15 minutes late. I went fashionably late. There was like no one there. The only people who were dancing were like staff, and it looks like they were trying, or they were paid to try to encourage and motivate some of the guests, but it just kind of wasn't happening. Um, you know, that's okay. It's okay that they're. I'm glad they tried, but they really needn't have. This was not a party crowd by any means. Um, they have unusual events here. If you look at like the daily planner, it'll be things like coloring for adults, which is like, you know, a lot of the stuff here is laid back, playing bridge, things like that. It's very laid back. It's not these high energy events like I'm used to from other cruises. The cruise director, um, I have to say, we've actually had two cruise directors. This cruise has been so long that one of them left and then another one came in. But I think the first one was um, kind of a snooze fest, just very direct, very professional, but not um, jazzy or trying to get everyone riled up and excited. Usually, I think I read the biography on on the previous cruise director we had, the first cruise director we had, and it was like this was a person who graduated, magna cum laude or something like that. It's like I don't really want that in a cruise director. I want someone who was the class clown and got a degree in theater arts or something like that, like the one that I had on Virgin cruises. But maybe that works better for this kind of crowd who just want things to be direct and uh, have more of an informational uh, kind of cruise director who will, maybe teach them the history of, the Panama Canal, things like that. So, again, it was very laid back, and I would say kind of low energy. This is a great cruise if you're focusing on yourself and maybe wellness. For me, actually, this was a weight loss journey that I'm doing on this cruise, and I made a whole big video about it, so you can go and check out that video on my YouTube. But it's a great place to sort of just, focus on yourself and not focus too much on partying or anything like that, or having, too good of a time. This is a place to focus on yourself, maybe get well. In a sense, I kind of joke that it's like a nursing home. It's a place for you to get well if you want to. There's an excellent fitness center here. A lot of times I'm the only one there, but I'm glad they have it. So I've been really focusing on myself and my wellness. It's like a nursing home for me. There are very few cons about this place, I think. If Because, like I said, low energy can actually be a positive. There were a few issues, I think. There's pretty poor internet, kind of slow. It had times when it was just out completely, and I would just have to wait, The beds are not comfortable. They're very firm. They're too firm. But the you just tell client services, and then they put this like pillow topper thing, this like one of those fuzzy extra mattresses on top of it, and I have slept great. I have slept amazingly well since they did that, and I should have asked them after the first 10 days. Um, Another great thing about this is room service. It is free. I think only Disney cruises also gives free room service of the main, cruise lines. Other ones you have to pay a fee for them, and this one you don't. You can, you pay tips and stuff like that, but they will bring room service to you for free. That's amazing. I love that. I actually didn't use it all that much, but at night I would write on that little form that I wanted, cereal and orange juice the next morning, and they would just bring it right here. It was great. You don't have to go up into the Lido deck or anything like that. After being on Virgin, I think last month, yeah, I I liked the fact that they didn't have a buffet, um, but this one definitely does, and it's a lot of madness up there. It's hard to find a table. The lines are kind of confusing. I just didn't like the buffet lifestyle very much, but it's utilitarian and it's there, and you're not going to be hungry on this cruise, that's for sure. Overall, the food has been pretty amazing. I'm very surprised. I was mostly going on this weight loss journey because I thought the food wouldn't be good at all, and so it would be easy for me to just avoid eating. Unfortunately, it's just been very delicious. Most of my meals have been in the main dining room. I did do two little, excursions elsewhere on the ship. I ate at two fancy places. One was Tamarind, and one was the so-called Pinnacle Grill. Both, tremendous, both delicious, and had an extra level of service that I was very impressed by. Yeah, food has been very good. And watch my weight loss journey video because I ate practically everything on the ship. Well, maybe not everything, but a lot. And I put a video about all of it, and for the most part, and I've been losing weight, but you'll have to watch that on the video. But yeah, the food has been great, the service has been great. Tipping is a little unique here, I would say. Like on Norwegian, they force you to pay a daily service charge that gets divided amongst the crew. That's great and all. I liked Virgin because they had a no tipping policy at all. They, Richard Branson, the billionaire, who just, pays the staff more. And you could tell they were probably the happiest of all the staff of any cruise I'd been on. Here on Holland America, they do put the daily service charges directly on your account, but you can ask them to remove those, and I did. And instead, I have lots of cash, especially with my casino, endeavors. I prefer to pay people in cash directly as gratuities, and so they let me do that. And this is the last day of the cruise, and I went and checked my statement, and they did remove it. So I'm glad that they offer that option. But yeah, the staff are really good, and the place is really clean. They're always working really hard. I also am very impressed that the cleaning staff do visit twice a day. I think in Virgin they only did once a day, and maybe they would come in at night to put something on your pillow or something. But this place works really hard. They're always changing the towels, and the linens I think they do once a week. But I'll usually put a little note on my bed said I'd like the linens changed every 4 days with some extra cash on the bed, and then they would change my linens every 4 days or 3 days, and I like that. I like how clean everything is. Yeah, I think people have gotten the norovirus on this cruise during this, but I didn't get it. They started putting up, hand cleaning stations everywhere, hand sanitizing, and they do ask you to sanitize your hands before going into any of the restaurants. But that's just That's fine. I'm glad they do that. As for the stops on this cruise, it's been interesting. This is especially this one. I mean, it's, I can't include all the footage in there. Those are other videos. But, it was really an incredible journey, and I'm glad I got to do it, and I'm glad I got it for free too. I am invited onto these cruises as part of their casino program because I am a gambler, and you know, they just they invite me, and not just for like really bad cruises. They'll invite me for these long ones too, 21 days. Um, and actually, the past 2 days, the casino's been closed because of Canada's restrictions. So, they're still housing me and feeding me and entertaining me. And so I really appreciate that. Um, and I'm very grateful that they do invite me onto these cruises, even these long ones. And not only that, they are very generous in their upgrades. As you saw from this room, they did put me in a balcony room. I was supposed to be in an interior room, and I was, giving myself therapy and trying to get mentally prepared for 21 days in a tiny little cell in the middle with no windows. But uh, they gave this to me anyway, and I really appreciate that. Spent more time in their casino because I was so happy. Um, and they already have sent me another email inviting me to something else, and I'll probably come on it again because, wow, I've just been so impressed with this cruise. Um, it's very laid back. It's very laid back, but I enjoy it. I would say the entertainment is lacking, unfortunately, but again, that's okay. At least they do have some entertainment here. It's not like on Royal Caribbean where they have ice skaters and drone shows and things like that. Again, you have to consider this kind of cruise. It's laid back. Um, it's so it's they don't really have um, really extravagant shows like that, but they did have two really good ones. I thought they had an excellent pianist. Of course, I also am a pianist, and I really value that, but it was very well done, and it got a standing ovation that it deserved, and you could tell everyone was very pleased with that high level of entertainment. They also had the divos, the three, I guess, Latin tenors. They were excellent, and just a lot of fun. They had some comedy, but those fell flat. Um, those comedians are probably very talented, but just aren't ready yet for um, even a cruise ship. So I would hope that they would get more seasoned comedians in the future. They also have kind of an entertainment troupe um, who, again, are talented, but not quite ready for a cruise. I would say they're not quite ready. They need more practice, and it's not just them. I would say also the choreography and just the production needs to be more sophisticated and offer just more creative performances. Those were generally not well received either by the audience, but that's okay. They got ovations, just not standing ones. They didn't blow you away. But again, what did I say? It's laid back. It was all okay. It was fine. But I like I said, I did like the ports that we stopped at. I really liked where Holland America goes. It was fascinating seeing Costa Rica, getting off and seeing just the beautiful ports where they have these gardens and animal sanctuaries, that sort of thing. Uh, that was in Colombia. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Costa Rica was also very interesting to stop in there and see how people live. Um, and Mexico, I didn't get off of Mexico. I still haven't forgiven them for mugging me about 10 years ago. But how many times have I been to Mexico on cruises? I really only get off at countries where I haven't visited before, to add to my spreadsheet of places that I visited. Uh, the Panama Canal was absolutely fascinating, and I love that this cruise went through it. We got to see those locks and everything, and gates that changed the elevation of the water and shift it from one ocean to the other. It's really fascinating. I made a video about that. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. Just going we went under the Golden Gate Bridge. That I didn't even know we were going to do that, and they're really good about it. They announce it, and they will allow guest traffic into the bow part of the ship, which usually you can't go in there. It's just for crew only. But we got to be up there and be king of the world in a sense when you're at the very front of it, and really experience things like the Panama Canal locks and the Golden Gate Bridge going up right underneath it. Just really fascinating stuff. And they make it nice out there too. They'll bring drinks and snacks, and they'll narrate what it is and the history and what it's like, and that made it a very special cruise, unlike anything I'd ever been on. We went to Victoria, Canada, and Vancouver. Just fascinating places, and they give you time. They give you time to go out there. Of course, there's excursions if you want to do that. I rarely do excursions. I didn't do any on this, but I still got off and walked around most of those locations, especially if I'd never visited there before. I made some YouTube videos about it that you can watch. And so yeah, it's just been so many adventures, so many wonderful people I've met, and a great time for me to focus on myself. This is sort of like I said, I view this as a fat camp, or a nursing home in a sense for me, to just sort of relax and focus on myself, and take a pause from the stress of life, and also having too much excitement. Yeah, this has not been like a super exciting cruise, but as long as you go in knowing what to expect, I think you will have a wonderful time. I highly recommend Holland America. I've been on Holland America before. I was on the New Amsterdam. I did have a video about that as well. You can watch it on my YouTube. But I will always have a special place in my heart for the Eurodam. They have taken really good care of me. I have had a wonderful, wonderful time. I love, everyone has been really nice and just friendly and professional and just wonderful. There are some other things that are kind of fun on this cruise. There is, and I didn't think trivia night was going to be that interesting. I thought it was just them trying to fill time, because there's a lot of time, especially when we were having at-sea days, which we had like 6 or 8, maybe, yeah, 10. We've had a lot of days where we're just at sea. And, they do work to find events. Trivia night's been a lot of fun. You sit there, we become part of a team, and, we dine with each other. It's just been really nice. It's more fun than you'd think. I highly recommend looking into Trivia Night. They also have this smaller venue called the Rolling Stone Lounge, and in that they have a really talented band that plays almost every night, and people get into it. They dance around in there. I would say that Holland American should maybe just like advertise it more or talk more about it. I feel like um, they don't really like they'll talk a lot about the parties and stuff, but no one will go to those. But in the meantime, the real parties are happening at like maybe the nighttime trivia and the Rolling Stone Lounge. That's where people are dancing around and listening to great live music. And these are very talented bands that they have in there. So, you know, I wasn't really used to that. Other cruises I went on, I didn't even know if they had a band or not. And I just went to the parties, and I would only go to the big performances in the main stages that they would have. But this Rolling Stone Lounge is a real little gem. I think it's similar to the BB King Lounge that they have on the larger Koenigsdam and other so-called pinnacle class levels of Holland America. But overall, like I said, it's just been a fantastic adventure on a beautiful cruise. And let me tell you, the beauty of this place it's really exceptional. When you walk in, it has an old style luxury to its beauty. When you're walking up in the staircase, there's like each floor has a different level of Rembrandt painting, self-portraits, maybe from when he was young to when he was very old. And it's funny, you kind of Benjamin Button yourself down the staircases. This place also has side elevators, which I've never seen on a cruise ship before, where they're glass, and as you go up them you can see the ocean and all of that. Well, while you're on the elevator, that's really something, not just the central elevators. So I really like that. They have extraordinary art pieces. People say this is like a real museum as well as being a cruise ship. Extraordinary pieces of art all over the cruise that at any time can just they're very whimsical, they're very beautiful. Even in the casino you'll see them. Of course, I spent most of my time at the casino. This is a very special casino, I will say. They have something unique in that when you are on at sea days, they will have the slots open 24 hours. Now, a lot of cruise lines do not do that. You have to wait until the whole casino is up and running. But this is great, especially because I like to make my YouTube videos, and I like to make them, in peace without worrying about security or anyone, messing with me. And this is great because I can make my videos and no one bothers me. Sometimes I'm the only one there in the casino, not even staff, and that is great. So it's a great time to just focus on winning at the machines, that sort of thing. But also, like other cruises, you're sort of stuck here, so there's no real need for them to have loose slots or anything like that. The odds are pretty bad on these machines, but if you're just here for a little entertainment and fun, like I am, then it's not the end of the world or anything like that. It is to be expected that they would be tight slots, and like when you're playing video poker, that they have the bad odds that are going to go against you. But if you play just a little bit, you'll probably get one of these offers, and all of a sudden, look at this room. I looked at it online, outside of the offer that I had taken, the complimentary, and I saw what would it have been like if I paid. Well, it's I think it's $1,999 per person, and of course they make you do a minimum of two. It's expected that this is a two-person room, So when you get these cabins, you pay for two. So this would have been a $4,000 room, plus an additional $999 per person for the upgrade that I got, the balcony. So what we're talking about is, Holland America gave me, $6,000 worth of a trip, that I didn't have to pay for. And I got, great entertainment. I got delicious food. I got to see the world. I got to meet extraordinary people. Yes, most of them are elderly, but they are young at heart. And it was just a pleasure meeting these very sweet and very engaging people who I'm proud to call my friends now. And yeah, just overall, I can't believe the value I got from this. And like I said, I already got another message from Holland America to get invited to another free casino related comped cruise. And of course, I'm probably going to take it because I have loved every minute of these 21 days, these 21 long days. And I love Holland America. And, what a great cruise line, and what a great experience. So thank you for listening to my review of Holland America. Very much recommended. And I'll see you on the next review.